And he showed up clinically drunk for that. This is not an 8 a.m. or, whatever kind of meeting. This was a full...
And this is CBC News. I'm Joe Cummings. It has been a chaotic morning for thousands of Toronto commuters. The city's entire...
o'clock in the afternoon situation. And so, he had either got...
Transit officials blaming a communications failure. Here's the CBC's James Murray.
The mood here is a pretty grumpy one, actually. This is not the first time this has happened. We have seen subway difficulties, interruptions during rush hours come with almost amazing regularity here in Toronto. They happen about once a month. Shutdowns, weekend delays. A lot of this is, of course, in preparation for the Pan Am Games as they try to upgrade an aging system as much as possible. There is no word today that had anything to do with what happened today, but there have been regular shutdowns for maintenance and upgrades.
Also, just to let you guys know,
any of those very nicely. And while we're talking about the Pan Am Games,
back company and drunker get to the belt. So now, this has been, wait till you guys see this. Bad company album review / drunker yet to come today.
In Toronto. With no major announcements expected, the G7 summit is wrapping up today in Germany. Here's the CBC's Terry Molesky.
Well, the G7 summit seems likely to wrap up with a somewhat bland closing statement, which is likely to disappoint those who are hoping for something more ambitious, particularly on the two crucial issues of Ukraine and climate change. On Ukraine, the whole idea of providing weapons to the beleaguered Ukrainian government in its attempts to defend itself against Russian-backed separatists, that whole idea just never gained any traction. Rather, the summit seems focused on maintaining the existing sanctions, not on adding new ones, but simply preventing any backsliding or wavering, particularly in Europe, on the sanctions that already exist on Russia. Prime Minister Harper's view, as expressed by a Canadian official, is roughly this, that Canada stands ready to impose additional sanctions on Russia if necessary, whatever that means, and if indeed there is an agreement among the allies to ramp up those sanctions. During the CBC News at Leipzig, southern Germany.
Regional Affairs Minister Bernard Valcourt has sent the Vatican the findings of the Truth and Reconciliation Report on Canada's residential schools. The report, released last week, calls on Pope Francis to issue an apology on behalf of the Catholic Church for its role in the abuse of Aboriginal children in the residential school system. A $100,000 reward for information is being offered following a prison break over the weekend in New York State. 2 inmates managed to escape from a maximum security prison, which is located just 30 kilometers from the Quebec border. CBC's Tanya Burkbeck reports.
The 2 inmates drilled through their cell walls, sneaked through pipes and passageways, and emerged from a manhole. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo toured the escape routes.
It was extraordinary. I mean, we went through the tunnels, the precision of the operation. It was truly extraordinary.
The fugitives, 48-year-old Richard Mack and 34-year-old David Sweat, are both convicted murderers. Sweat serving a life sentence for killing a sheriff's deputy. Mack killed and dismembered his former boss. Police and correctional officers are scouring the area, pulling up roadblocks and searching cars. And given the proximity to the Canadian border, authorities have been warned the men could try to enter Canada. The Canadian Border Service Agency has issued an alert, warning border guards to look out. Tanya Burkbeck, CBC News, New York.
44 wildfires are burning across the province of Saskatchewan today. 25 were sparked on Saturday by lightning strikes in the La Ronge area, about 400 kilometers north of Saskatoon. People with respiratory problems have been moved to Prince Albert as a precaution. And that is the CBC News to this hour. I'm Joe Cummings.